Hey, what is up? So for this video, I wanted to break down the backstory surrounding Saul Goodman legally representing Vamanos Pest that was first introduced to us in the plot of Season 5 of Breaking Bad. Okay, so it was revealed to us in the episode entitled Hazard Pay that Saul Goodman had been pulling Vamanos Pest chestnuts out of the fire, legally speaking, for 5 years as part of the plot of Walt, Jesse, and Mike using the fumigation company Vamonos Pest as a front for their meth manufacturing empire.
Tell me about these guys.
Mr. Ponytail on the sidewalk, that's Ira. He's the owner. The roof is Sandor. Ladder's Fernando. And down below, that's Todd.
And you know them how?
I've been pulling their chestnuts out of the fire, legally speaking, for 5 years.
Okay, so using this dialogue by Saul Goodman here in this scene as canon, we know that Saul Goodman has legally represented Vamanos Pest for 5 years. And interestingly, if we take a look at the last known confirmed date in the plot of Season 5 of Better Call Saul, when we see on Jimmy and Kim's marriage certificate in the episode entitled JMM, the date of May 26th, 2004, this date could potentially perfectly set us up in line with Saul starting to legally represent Vamanos Pest in the plot of Season 6 of Better Call Saul. However, it should also be noted that unfortunately, due to the fact that the timeline of Breaking Bad is absolutely riddled with inconsistencies, which I outlined in great detail in a video on the subject matter that I will link in the description, we may be left with some plot holes regarding this timeline syncing up with the timeline of Better Call Saul if and when this plot surrounding Vamanos Pest is added into the storyline of Better Call Saul next season. However, it also should be noted that due to the fact that the character Ira, the original owner of Vamanos Pest in the plot of Breaking Bad, has already been introduced into the plot of Better Call Saul in the show's 4th season, this would make any transition from Ira working at the vending machine company we saw him work at in the plot of Season 4 of Better Call Saul to now owning Vamanos Pest and being legally represented by Saul Goodman more seamless, in my opinion, should the creators decide to introduce this plot to us on screen next season. And really, in my opinion, I think that the fact that Ira has already been introduced into the plot of Better Call Saul and the fact that he is already connected to Jimmy McGill in the plot of Better Call Saul, this Vamanos Pest storyline could really seamlessly be added into the plot of Season 6 of Better Call Saul by the creators, which I think is again too great of an opportunity to pass up in this series. And other than the 5 years legally representing Vamanos Pest dialogue from the plot of Breaking Bad, this plot, besides that, regarding Saul Goodman's involvement with this business, is pretty much completely open-ended. Not to mention that on top of all of this storyline could also allow the creators to incorporate another character from the plot of Breaking Bad into the plot of Better Call Saul somehow, and that character would be, of course, Todd Alquist, who we should first remember was first introduced to us in the plot of Breaking Bad in Season 5 as an employee of Vamanos Pest. But at the same time, after thinking about this plot in further detail, in my opinion, it still really needs to be emphasized that due to the fact that we only have 13 episodes remaining in Better Call Saul as a series, the creators are likely to be very calculated and methodical about what storylines and which aspects of said storylines they choose to incorporate into the plot of Better Call Saul, as there's now only a very finite amount of time on screen left in the series, with so many additional storylines that have already been introduced into the plot of Better Call Saul that still need to be further developed and then concluded. So what I'm trying to get at here is maybe we could see Ira in a plot with Vamanos Pest on screen in the plot of Better Call Saul next season that doesn't necessarily also include the character Todd Alquist, who hasn't already been introduced into the plot of Better Call Saul through the show's first 5 seasons. And after all, in my opinion, Jesse Plemons really looked quite different from how he looked when we first met him in the plot of Breaking Bad, compared to when he reprised his role as Todd Alquist in the plot of the Breaking Bad movie El Camino. But that is certainly a discussion for a completely different video. So yeah, that's all I really have for you guys for this one. As I have mentioned in many of my previous videos, as we head into the premiere of Season 6 of Better Call Saul, there are so many interesting storylines from the plot of Breaking Bad that could be incorporated into the plot of Better Call Saul next season that I hope to make many more videos about these subject matters as we all wait for the show's premiere in just 2 months and change from now. As always, my name is Anton Jackson. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate it.